Hello gardening friends, welcome to Backyard Basics. I'm Dromgoole. I love the fall garden. For me, we're out of the heat, you know. It's a nice cool season and very, very productive. Lots of greens, lots of root crops. You know, it's a really wonderful garden. So for me, fall and all winter long is the best garden. Now right now, as we finish the summertime, I've got a couple of cover crops in here. Got some cowpeas, we'll be harvesting them, sitting on the porch, taking the beans out before long. And I've got some buckwheat. Buckwheat has been bringing in the bees, and it'll last a little bit longer into the season. So until you get your square foot gardening ready for the fall crop, then I would put a little buckwheat in there earlier in the season next year. You know, in the square foot garden, it's really a nice productive garden. And so we're using a grid and we're using other devices like these to space out our beets and lettuce and things like that. And so we're getting into the cool season though. And a frost can come along pretty soon, you know, maybe another 6 weeks or so. So you want to be ready for a frost. And one of the things you do is you cover the seedlings. I've covered them with the shade cloth, and I've also covered them with the floating row cover. The shade cloth keeps the birds off initially from eating the seedlings, and then we protect it from the cold. All winter long we garden in our square foot garden. It's really a neat one. One of the things I like to do is sow my lettuce really tight instead of individual plants, and what I create there is what I call a cut and come again garden. So all this lettuce is growing, I come in there with the scissors, cut off a section of it, and that's our salad for that night. A few days later we cut it again and cut it again, and the first one's already growing back. You know, so that's a really neat way to keep production up. So that's called the cut and come again. The metal grids, I showed you those, very important for spacing. It's not a square foot garden if you don't have the metal grids out there. It's that simple. Or you'll get lost, you'll be all over the place. So vegetable spacing is essential. You make the 1 foot square, like I've shown you, these little devices right here, put 4 lettuce in that one, put turnips in the other ones. I mean, it's a really good way to do this. Vegetable spacing is essential for the high productivity because this is a very productive garden, more productive than anything you've ever grown if you haven't tried the square foot garden. Essential to the square foot garden is the mix. A lightweight mix is important. And so what we use is 1/3 vermiculite. I like to use the core fiber. It's a very renewable product. It comes from coconuts. And then compost. And with the compost, you're looking for a blend of compost for the different nutrients and organisms that come in that are all beneficial. One of the questions is about fertility. And Mel suggests that you use that blended compost because it has a lot of different nutrients in there. So you don't have to add fertilizer. That's part of the beauty of this particular garden. And all you do is you scoop up a handful or a trowel full of compost every time you pull a crop out of there. I hope you enjoy your square foot garden. For Backyard Basics, I'm Dromgoole. I'll see you next time.